Almost one third of people over the age of 65 will experience a fall during the next 12 months, and that can be due to a number of risk factors. So general health problems such as reduced eyesight, restricted joint movement, possibly due to arthritis, and incoordination and poor balance can also contribute to falls. And that can be sometimes also due to medication. It's a good idea for people to talk to their doctor about their medication because sometimes that can affect eyesight and coordination and balance, and it will also increase the likelihood of falls. So most falls tend to happen in people's homes or in aged care facilities, and often they're just simple things. Someone might stumble or trip and then fall and injure themselves. The good news is that there are some simple things that we can do to make residents safer in their own homes and to prevent falls for them and for any visitors that they have as well. All houses have hazards in them that increase the risk of falls. Let's take a look at this house. Those magazines are a tripping hazard, as is that upturned corner of a rug. Someone could easily slip over on those drops of water on the floor. And what happens at night if you need to answer the call of nature? It's often too dark to see. So how can we fix all of these things around the house? Well, it's quite cheap and easy. For example, if you have loose rugs on the floor like this, it's a good idea to remove them. And of course, any extension leads are another trip hazard. And of course, if you have pets, then it's very important to walk very carefully around them because their movements can be quite unpredictable. Making things accessible in your home is really important. For example, in this cupboard, there's more commonly used household items up on the top shelf. It's a good idea to bring them down lower so that you're not having to step on a chair to reach them, which would be a likely risk of a fall. Making sure that any spills are cleaned up straight away is a really good idea because many surfaces can become quite slippery when they're wet. And it's also a good idea if you're using mats to consider using a mat with a non-slip back on it so that it won't slide when you step on it. So if you find that you're holding on to things around the house, particularly in the bathroom, such as the side of the shower recess or even the soap holder, then it's a good idea to consider installing handrails. And an occupational therapist can certainly help you with that to advise about what modifications would help you to maintain your independence and safety around your house. Ensure that there's enough lighting to see in all areas of the house. Night lights are an inexpensive way to provide light to dark passageways at night, and they can be bought in most supermarkets. And walking around in socks or poorly fitting footwear on slippery surfaces is also just as risky. Outside, make sure paths are free of slippery hazards like moss and leaves, and take care walking around outside in wet conditions. Put any garden tools and hoses away so that you avoid tripping over them. Many falls also occur from ladders, so if you can't get someone to assist you, make sure that you comply with all the safety instructions. Having one fall, even if you're not injured, can be a risk factor for future falls. So it's a good idea to have a chat to your doctor if you have a fall, and the doctor can then determine what the cause of the fall might have been and whether there's any management strategies that might help with future falls. And having regular checkups with your doctor will also help to minimise the risk of falls as well. Keeping active is a really good way to maintain your physical function and reduce the risk of further falls. And that will help you to maintain your independence and also to be able to enjoy life.